All right, how everybody doing out there? Message for today is devoted to sacrifice. Got a question from a guy named Ulysses via the iambic7@gmail.com. His question was, what happens if you sacrifice and sacrifice and sacrifice? You try and you try and you try, and you never make it. You never reach your goal or you never reach your dream. Would I then be considered a failure? So, my answer to that is pretty in-depth, but I'm going to try to keep it simple. Very rarely will you hear me ever bring religion or politics into the topics that I discuss, simply because a lot of people have different religious views. A lot of people have different political views, and I don't want to veer off into that debate. So today I'm going to use one of those examples. So a lot of us are familiar with Moses and the Bible. Moses was the person who for 40 years sacrificed himself and worked diligently to reach a place, to get to a place called the land of milk and honey is what they called it. So before Moses' journey ever started, he was like most of us. He made excuses. So he told God, I can't communicate, I can't speak. How will I get people to listen to me? So God told Moses not to worry about that. And he sent Moses Aaron to be his interpreter, his communicator. Now, eventually along the way, the 40-year journey, Moses lost Aaron, as did the people. They lost Aaron for different reasons. Nonetheless, after that, Moses still had to be the leader and communicator for his people. He continued to sacrifice. He continued to push and push and push to get to this place. Now, what a lot of people I'm finding do not know, and I want you to go read the story of Moses to refresh yourself if you don't know or if you don't remember. Moses spent 40 years sacrificing for his people, taking him through a journey that will ultimately lead to their success. Now, the promised land, the land of milk and honey, Moses never touched that ground. Moses never set foot in the land of milk and honey, in the promised land. So Moses was buried after death, still not in the land of milk and honey. He was buried on the other side of the river. So he wasn't even buried there. He only was able to see it, to view it from a distance. So Moses spent his entire life, for the most part, his entire adult life, trying to get to a place. His goal, for him reaching that goal was successful, would have made him successful in most people's eyes. By not reaching it, however, that did not deter from his success. As I spoke about yesterday, we talked about your echo and your legacy, transcending generations upon generations. This happened to Moses thousands and thousands of years ago. Still, his story is very prevalent. His story still reaches, inspires, and touches people in this generation and of this generation. And it will do it for the next generation and generations to come. So he was entirely successful. If you followed me, as you've heard me say in some of my other recordings, you have to sacrifice something to get somewhere. And while you're sacrificing something, you become a leader because you're working for your goal and your dream. You're leading yourself to this destination. While you're leading yourself to this destination through this journey, other people will follow you and they will mimic you and they will imitate you. And while they're doing that, what you are doing is teaching them habits to be successful in the quest for their goal. to reach their success. So I'm going to end this with this notion. Some of us in life, our success, what we're traveling for, what we're fighting for every day, what we're traveling towards, and what we're fighting for every single day, to make better lives for ourselves and to make better lives for our children and our children's children, and to improve the lives of other people around us by giving back. Some of us will never reach that goal. We will only see it. We will spend our entire lives trying to get there, only to see it. That does not make you a failure. It will not make you a failure, because those that have followed you on your journey will get to reap the benefits of that journey. Generations after you, your children, your children's children, and other generations of children may reap the rewards, or will reap the rewards, of your efforts and your hard work. And you will make their lives better. By touching other people, you will make their lives better. You will make their journey more attainable to them. The reality of their journey will be real to them. It'll become tangible to them. Despite the fact that you may not reach your goal, that you may not get there, the fact that you never gave up on your way to getting there is success in and of itself. So sometimes the sacrifice, your sacrifice, will end up being in the end a blessing for someone else. Because it will be a blessing to someone else, a learning tool, a tutorial, so to speak. You then become successful. You then become successful. You don't become a failure because you didn't reach it. You're only a failure if you never tried to reach it in the first place. If you gave up on reaching it. If you don't make it there because life happens, because death happens, which will happen to everybody walking this earth, that doesn't make you a failure. You're a great, great success. And that success that you dreamed about will be lived out by those that followed you, by those that you led, by your children, by your children's children, and other generations of children to come. So I just wanted to let people know that. I said before, sometimes blessings are not meant for you. Sometimes your journey isn't meant for you. Let me say it that way. Sometimes what you're going through and your struggle to get there, and your obstacles and your overcoming failures to get there and to achieve what you're trying to achieve, sometimes you're living that out and it's not for you. It's not your journey, okay? And it's not a bad thing. And I don't want people to think that it's a bad thing. Having never tried or having given up is the failure in anything that we do in life. So keep that in mind. Moses is a very successful individual. Moses transcended generations. Many people learn from Moses to this day, and they will continue learning from him and his story for centuries and centuries to come. So don't get down on yourself. Don't feel like a failure. Keep pushing through it. Keep breaking down the walls and barriers for those that follow you so that they can walk through those doors. They can walk through those opportunities so that they can live out that. All right? So that's what I wanted to leave you with today. Once again, I thank everybody who subscribed, who's followed, who's tuning in. And I appreciate it, appreciate the support. Again, I'm here for you. Any question you have, email me, iambic7@gmail.com. Follow me on YouTube, I Am My Brother's Guardian. Instagram @iambic7, and on Twitter @atlas3845. God bless. Talk to you tomorrow.